Hey Trick students, this is what I wanted to tell you at the front end at 8.2. It's just a little introduction, and then the author of the textbook will lead you through some of the videos on the examples, and then I'm going to come back in later and talk to you more about the ambiguous case. But I wanted you to see that at 8.2 it's called the law of signs. The couple of things I wanted to point out are that the author is going to walk you through that we're going to be talking about an oblique triangle, and there will be several cases. And so while you're listening to the recordings, this is the part where you're in class and you've got to block out and put aside time where you are in class. And part of that means you're going to be taking notes. You're going to have your calculator. You're going to be doing calculations literally like you're in a class of one, and you're going to be involved, taking notes, writing information down. The cool part is, if you don't understand something, you can stop the video, go back, hear it again. If you still don't understand it, go back and hear it again. You get to absorb it much better than me in class and going through pretty quickly. At least in class, I get to do interaction, and you get to stop and ask questions right there. So this is pros and cons from being in class, but I wanted to go ahead and point out that there are 4 cases. This 8.1 is going to be the law of signs and talk about case 1 and case 2. When we get to 8.3 is when we're going to pick up law of cosines. The author does a great job walking you through all of the cases, like angle, side, angle. Here's a picture. Angle, where's the angle and the sides? Oh, that is it. Angle, and the side is included between the angles. That's how you'll know what example that one is. The side, angle, you've got 2 angles and the side is not in between them. And I want to point out the side angle. It's the one that's the bad word backwards. And when you see that one, that ought to indicate to you sirens and bells to say, ugh, this is the one I'm going to have to work a little harder on. This one's going to be the ambiguous case, and this is the one I'm going to come back in just a minute and give you more information on the ambiguous case. I wanted to point the cases out. I wanted to talk just briefly about ambiguous case, and now I want to say your cheat sheet. The information you're about to go through is not already on your cheat sheet. You will be using this sheet on test 3. I would start very carefully writing some information down, like law of signs and when I need to use it. And then if I'm going to do the ambiguous case, which you will, these are the things I need to remember, but all of this needs to make sense to you. So think about what you want to write down and write it down carefully. And then we'll add to it in 8.2, and then we'll keep adding to it with the area of a triangle. The other things I wanted to say are that I mentioned some of them. To take notes over the videos, be very, very active in your class. Everything's different right now, but you can still be active and involved and listening and not checking Facebook or Snapchat or trying to be isolated from all the events maybe going on with your family. Just for everyone to respect that you need to spend at least 3 hours a week in your class. The other things I wanted to tell you, and I did mention to start and stop as much as you need to understand all of this information fully. Do punch the numbers on the calculator just like you're in class. Do make sketches. I'll be given points for making the sketches. It doesn't have to be to scale. It just helps you to get oriented in the problem. Always use the given info. If they hand you something on a problem, like right here, they're going to give you A, B, and side A. Those are the numbers you need to use over and over and over. Now, there will be numbers you have to use that you generate. And the thing is, if you messed up generating the numbers and then use them again, you've messed up, and now you're messing up and messing up. So in his videos, he talks about reasonableness. Really hone in on what he's talking about on reasonableness. I did already mention ambiguous case, and that's probably possibly the most confusing thing that we would have done all semester. And that's why I'm really stressing watch his videos, and then I'll come back after his and do one more video about the ambiguous case, because on that one you're going to have to do a test or really look at reasonableness to figure out if you'll have 1 triangle, 2 triangles, or no triangle. You could even end up with a right triangle. So that is what I wanted to tell you at the front end of 8.2. Go ahead and go through the list that I've got for you where you watch a video and then you do an example, and I'm even asking you to do the examples without looking at your notes. I do want to go ahead and pull up one more screen while I've got you on video. And in MyLab Math, I know I've already told you this, but I thought I'd tell you one more time. You go to the Video and Resource Library, and I tell you this in the first of our notes. And when I click on the Video and Resource Library, it might have timed out by the... Let me go back over here, Video and Resource Library. There we go. And I tell you to do the drop down for Chapter 8. And then I tell you to do the drop down for Section 2. And I ask you to click on Video and then Find Now. And when you scroll down, you're going to see 6 videos. 4 are the author in action, and the other 2 are solving applied problems. You'll watch each of those at a specific time and then do some examples behind it. So I wish you the best on Section 8.2.